51. What's going on, guys? Oh, who's here? Hey, look who's in the room. It's Shadow Ops. What's going on? You're just in time. We're going to do a little. We're going to watch some Gorilla Glue dry. I know how much you guys love that. Crappity crap crapping. Yeah, there you go. It's going to be a fun night. We're going to have some fun tonight. That's right. I don't know. Maybe we're going to have some fun tonight. All right. So, who else is here? Nobody yet. Just got my 64 millimeter Raptor upgraded with a X-Fly 6S fan. Oh yeah? All right. Now, is that a is that 64 millimeter a X-Fly plane or somebody else's? Who makes the 64 millimeter Raptor? Is that a Motion plane? Motion's making a Raptor in about every size there is now, aren't they? Yeah, free wing Raptor. Yeah, yeah, Motion. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but X-Fly. So X-Fly has a 64 millimeter S6S fan that you're going to use. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing I'm going to do with. I think I'm going to put the uh, the fan and motor out of uh, the 90 millimeter Viper from E-Flite, which it's an FMS fan and motor, and put it in my 90 millimeter Raptor from Motion, the free wing, and also my Super Saber, the F100 Super Saber, because both of them have pretty shitty flight times, and the Viper goes on forever. So I think I'm going to repower both of them, I think. We're going to give that a shot. So what's up, Philip? What's going on? It's good to see you, buddy. So what do we got in here yet? So just showing one. There's actually at least two. It's good. My analytics from YouTube are right on post, man. They're just doing well. How's my sound? Is my sound all right? Do I need to change it to it's probably back to default. So let me go look. I don't know if it is or not. If I transition, does it do? Yeah, see, I've lost that other. Yeah, see, fucking. I hate this new. My new. Oh, scene one. Maybe. There it is. Okay. All right. Maybe that'll work. I sound like Dolly Parton, but good. Okay, but you can hear me. So and it's not a Godzilla movie, right? Because that's really all I'm looking for. As long as you can hear me and it doesn't look like a Godzilla movie, we're good. God, it's hot out here tonight. Jesus, humid. Ugh, it's bad. I'm just dripping wet. Got my new Kyo shirt on. For you guys that don't know, this is a guy that does 3D printing, and he's kind of funny. Do you guys remember Stephen Wright? He's a comedian. Do you guys know who he is? Do you remember Stephen Wright? Um, Michael Bird, what's up? How you doing, man? Where's Michael Bird? How come Michael Bird ain't in here? Where the hell's he at? He should be here. Where's my birdie? I don't see Michael Bird yet. Okay, Philip's here. Shadow's here. Michael Bear's here. Who else is here? Jeff and Loretta is here. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Um, all right. So we're gonna. Robert, what's up? So yeah, you're a grandpa again. Yeah. Sounds like I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna be nice. I don't want to offend you. We'll let that one go. Yeah, congratulations, Robert. we'll, we'll go with that instead. All right. So, went to a big car show today, early this morning at Innisbrook. I don't know if you guys know what that is. If you're golfers, you definitely know what Innisbrook is. It's a live-in community here in Florida, not too far from me. It's pretty. I used to live right down the street from it, but when I moved up here to Spring Hill, I'm a little farther away. Takes about, I don't know, 40 minutes to get there, I guess. Not too bad. Um, so they've got three PGA golf courses there, and the PGA tournament goes there at least once a year. I think maybe twice a year. So it's a big to do. It's a big resort, big community, and superb golfing there. And they had a car show there today. And now apparently they've been doing this a while, a couple of years at least. And this first I'd heard of it because two of my buddies on Facebook were going to it or had said that they were interested in going to it. And so I got notified, and I'm like, "Oh shit, what's this?" So I decided I'm going to it. So I went, and they didn't. So what do you think of that? So they're the ones that got me to go, and then neither one of them went. So anyway, not a big deal. Um, but it was a cool show. A lot of cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, um, Maseratis, McLarens, and then the Corvette Club showed up, and the Porsche Club showed up. So they had a boatload of cars, both of them, and then a lot of random cars. We had like a 70 Cutlass 442 W30 package car was beautiful, and Pontiac Soltis. Haven't seen one of them in forever. You know what? Come to think of it, it was not a Pontiac. It was the Saturn Sky. Come to think of it, I parked right next to it. Yeah, it was a Saturn Sky, not the Soltis. Um, so, because I think the Saturn is way prettier than the Solstice myself. Um, I really I thought that was a beautifully well done car. That just looked cool as hell. I wasn't a big fan of the Pontiac at all, but the Saturn was awesome. And yeah, that's what was there. I parked right next to that, and there was a guy there with a Grand National, an 87 Grand National that he bought brand new back in 87. Still has the car and it still looks showroom new. So he's really been taking care of that. And let's see what else. There was a mixture of Dodges and um, Chrysler 300s. There were a few of those. Some I think there were a small group of the Stingers from Hyundai, or is that Kia that did the Stinger? I think it was Kia. Um, and just a lot of really cool cars. There was a Cadillac, a bunch of Cadillacs, well, just like Fred's. As a matter of fact, there was an STSV there, just like Fred's, black. And then there was a couple of Cadillac CTSV. One was a wagon. One was a couple of them were sedans. Um, so yeah, it was a cool show. Big one. Eric, what's going on? How you doing, buddy? Got the hey, I was watching you putting your your gate and your signal together. You know, so I was getting keyed up on that. Did I buy an 82 Escort? No, no. Why on earth would I buy an 82 Escort, Robert? No. I am not a Ford guy at all. So, yeah, especially a Ford Escort. You know, no, I did not buy a Ford Escort. Yeah, that was never coming home to my garage, that's for sure. Um, so I had the only vintage Charger there. I took my Daytona, just because it's, I like the Pontiac a lot. I really do. But it just doesn't have that wow, look at me factor. It kind of blends, it's kind of for the guys that know what it is, it's cool. And they really, I get it. I'm surprised I get asked about it a lot. When I go to my Tuesday show with the Daytona, everybody says, "You've got the G8, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah. Where is it?" "Well, I brought this one." "Oh, okay." So everybody asks about it. So it's got a fan base. A lot of people like my G8, so that's cool, kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. Um, but yeah, today I thought the Daytona would be a better pick, so that's what I took today, and it was from 9 to noon. So and everybody kind of bugged out a little early. Everybody was leaving by 11:30. It's getting warm. Everybody, nobody. I don't know, these people in Florida. Can't. I didn't leave till 12:30. I didn't even start packing up till 12:30, and I was the last car to leave. I had my canopy up and stuff, and by the time I got the canopy packed and everything, I was the last car rolling out. So must be watching an old fart show. So let me see if I've missed anybody else. Jeff and Eric. And how many we got in here now? Now it says one again. Obviously, I have more than one in here. Yeah, my analytics are just crap. So anyway, yeah, that's what I did till noon, and then from there I came back, went a little grocery shopping, came home. I think I took a nap. I think I fell asleep for a couple hours. Um, the 82 Escorts are classics. Well, yeah, anything that's an 82 is a classic. It doesn't matter if it's an Escort or everything 1982 and is a classic. What's Robert? What is special about? Uh, yeah, I bought the Pontiac G8. That's what I didn't buy an Escort. Why would I want to? Is there something special about a 82 Escort that I don't know about? I mean, was it like turbocharged and super fast, or why on earth would I want an Escort? Oh, I've got old cars to make me vintage. I don't need that. I've got a 56 Chevy sedan delivery. I got a 67 Camaro RSSS. I've got an 86 Pontiac 2+2. So I got some real vintage cars. I don't need to buy an 82 Escort. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Well, for a while there, I haven't bought any more cars, and I'm not really planning unless something just that Oh, excuse me, just have to have. I'm not buying any more cars. We're carred out for right now. Trying to get a couple of cars fixed and sold. These cars that are no longer gonna. The ones I bought for the girl that died from church. I don't need those anymore. And then the wagon I had bought to turn into a drag car. Um, it's okay, but the motor's a little hurt, and I don't think it'd be good to make it a drag car, so I'm not going to do that. We went drag racing last night, by the way. Um, my buddy Mike Smitty, we go way back, with the whole Impala SS, Super Southern Chevy, heavy Chevy shootout. Was when we were racing. It started with Impalas, the Lincoln Club, the R. What are they? What do they call those? Eight something eight. I think that's what they called it. Um, anyway, they challenged us to a race. Their club against ours, and the first race was down here at Bradenton, and that was in, I think. I want to say it was 2000. I think the first one was 2000, and it was in Bradenton. And then every year after that, it was up in Atlanta because the northern guys wanted something a little more central, so they didn't have to drive all the way to Florida. So, but at the first event, there were 13 Lincolns and 77 Impalas, and of course we had the fastest car. There was a guy, the leader of their group. He had a screen name. He was called Disney Lincoln, and I think he had the fastest Lincoln, but it wasn't near fast enough to handle our fastest Impala. So, yeah, so we handily won that one. And David, what's up? How you doing, Crystal? So yeah, we won that one, and then every year in Atlanta after that for 12 years, I think it was 12, 13 years, maybe. No, I take that back. I think it was 14 years. And so I took King of the Hill twice in those 14 years. Only guy to do it twice. This big cup right here is one of the King of the Hill. And then the other one, I think the other one's a plaque. I don't think it's trophy. It could be a trophy. It might be one of the other trophies there. But the big cup is the 2012. Yeah, King of the Hill, super Southern heavy shootout. And so anyway, so what was it getting back to here? Got off track here, now I forgot. Oh, so anyway, Smitty bought a station wagon, an Impala, Caprice Impala Buick Roadmaster station wagon that has a built motor in it. It's an LT1 motor, the Corvette motor. Yeah, squirrel, exactly, Robert. And it's got a built LT1 motor in it, and I don't know why they took the electronic fuel injection off of it, but it's got a Holley double pumper, I think a 850 carburetor on it. So they put a regular intake on it, put a regular distributor in the back, took the OptiSpark off the front, and they had to do a little machining work to the block and the heads so that they could put a stock intake on it to run a carburetor. But anyway, so this was the first time. So he brought the car over here Thursday. He'd owned it for over a month, and he hadn't even started it. He hadn't even looked at it. So he brought it here, and we pulled it out of the trailer, and we put battery in it, and we put fuel in it, and we're going all over it, making sure everything looks good, and don't see any loose lines, nothing's leaking, everything looked good. And I'm like, okay, let's fire it up. Let's see what happens. So fired up pretty quick. It cranked for a little bit, but then it hit and it fired up. The idle was set a little too low. It wouldn't idle, so he kept having to throttle it to keep it running. So I went and got a screwdriver and did a little fine adjustment on the set screw to bump the idle up, and then it started idling and warmed up, and everything was fine. Sounded good. It's got a pretty. It's a 396 stroker motor, but it's a small block. It's an LT1 small block. It's got ARF. I think that's what it is. ARF aluminum heads on it, and some headers, and so it's a pretty fast car. And it's normally aspirated. No nitrous, no power adder. It just yanks the front wheels right off the ground. The last pass. The front wheels were a foot off the ground, and he carried them for a good, 20, 30 feet. So it's a pretty badass, and boy, the crowd loved it. Oh my God. Because they hear it coming. It's a station wagon, right? It's a big station wagon, and here it comes. Everybody's looking, and they're like, oh my God, like, what the hell is that? Even one of the guys that worked there come over, a young kid, and he's like, so, what's the point of this? He don't get it at all. He doesn't understand, why you would, make a race car out of a big 4,000-pound station wagon. It didn't click with him. So, yeah, Shadow, you're right, and that's what I told Mike last night. I said, we could tune this thing so much better with the fuel injection running the O, and it had it in there at one time because he's got a O2 gauge on the dash, for calibrating it and everything. But at some point he got, I don't know. Yeah, I guess he had the wrong guy helping him, an old school guy that just said, we got to put a carburetor on this thing. So. It would be so much easier to tune it and be more consistent running it on a fuel injection system. Like the stock one that came on the car works perfect. So, yeah, well, that's I meant to tell that kid, and I'll probably show him next week. I'll probably put Steve Morris up on my phone and say, hey, you remember when you were asking, what was the point? This is the point. I'll let him see Steve run. Yeah. So Steve runs, the quarter mile, and what we're running the eighth in at 200 and God, I don't even know how fast he's going. Over 200 miles an hour, 233 or something, I think. And his car weighs 3,800 pounds. So Steve's does. Mike's is pretty light. I'm guessing it's probably around 3,300 pounds. I'm guessing it. All the windows are out of it except the back window. It's all got Lexan windows, the windshield, the side windows, no door panels, everything stripped out of the doors, no carpet, no headliner, no, it's just a stripped down shell of a car, no inner fenders, nothing. It's just, it's got a fiberglass hood. So yeah, it's been lightened quite a bit. Yeah. Of course, I was wearing my Steve Morris Boostmaster T-shirt that night too. So, so I'm walking around, representing. So, but we had a good time. It was fun. It took us a while to figure it out. It's got a B&M shifter in it. We didn't know how to work it. We weren't, he kept leaving in second gear because we didn't know how to. You have to, the way this shifter's set up. You have to go all the way back to neutral to put it back into first gear. You can't go from second to first. It won't let you do that. So you got to go a couple steps past first to get it to neutral, and then you pull it back into first. And we weren't doing that. So the first two runs, he was leaving in second gear. And then we were, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And we figured it out. So the next run, it picked up a half a second right off the bat. So it was running 720 was the best it ran. And I know it'll run sixes. There's no doubt it'll run sixes. So, We just have to figure out how to work the thing. He's got switches. I said, "What's that switch on the dash for?" He goes, "I don't know. I'm afraid to turn it on. I don't know what it does." You've had the car a month and you haven't figured out what all this shit does. It was so funny. I asked him, "Do the headlights work?" He goes, "I don't know." And he's looking around and I said, "Well, what's that switch on the dash? It's not part of the your control panel." He goes, "I don't know what it does." I said, "Well, that might be the headlight switch," and it was. So he flipped it and the headlights came on because I didn't know if we had I didn't know the headlights are in the car. I just didn't know if they worked. And yeah, 720 is not bad. We're not at all upset with that. Normally aspirated 720 is not bad. My car's quicker than that on the nitrous with a stock motor, but not a lot quicker. But this car was set up for quarter mile, so I had he's running a 30-inch slick. I had a 26-inch drag radial we could have put on the car, which would have dropped the ratio down for an eighth mile. It would have done a much better eighth mile on my tires than on the 30-inchers that he was running. But he didn't want to switch tires, so we didn't do that. But I think he's hooked. I think my Friday nights are spoken for the summer. I think I'm going to the track every Friday night with Mike to go run the cars. So, uh, yeah, Shadow, you're right. But if you don't be stupid, okay, and you just do everything correctly, nitrous is very very reliable and very repeatable. Because a Holly carburetor, from day to day you're going to be adjusting it because they just they're never happy. Humidity's high today, low tomorrow, whatever. The barometric pressure, all these things change carburetors. They don't change fuel injection, and the computer compensates anyway. And when you run nitrous, you're bringing your own air, so you don't care what the air is because you're bringing a bottle of air that's going to be consistent no matter what the hell it's doing outside. So, and that's what made my car so great is it would run the exact same number every pass. I mean, it was so predictable. That's how I won two of the top of the King of the Hills at the event because it was just it was pretty much impossible to beat my car. So um, well, no, Eric, you don't have to have special as long as you're doing it right. Because I was running the stock. It's got the cheap hypertectic pistons in it, and they work fine until you go lean. And when you go lean, they're not very forgiving. So you break a ringland, which I did because GM's injectors, when they fail closed. So the nitrous goes closed, or the nitrous is still pumping in that cylinder, but the injector shuts off. So now that one cylinder goes lean, and then yeah, you break something. So the best way to do it is you get SVO injectors because when they fail, they lock open, not closed, and that'll prevent that going lean problem. But as long as you've got the safeties, to make sure that if the fuel pressure drops, it shuts it off. If you've got all these safety valves and stuff to keep it from blowing the motor up. And I ran nitrous for 7 years on the same motor and never rebuilt the motor. I did burn a valve once, just one exhaust valve. I had to take the head off, and I bought the valve, and I took it up to the machine shop, and I said, "Here, just put this valve in the head." And they were like, "You don't want new seals?" Nope, you don't have to do anything else. If the motor don't use any oil, everything's fine. Compression's good. Just change the one valve. That's all you need to do. Just lap it in, change the valve. That's all I need. And okay. And so they did. I barely got home, and they called me and said, "Hey, your head's ready." Okay. So, but yeah, just very, the LT one's a good motor. It really is. As long as you don't do anything stupid with it, It'll just keep running and running and running. They just hard to kill them. Really, really hard to kill them. So so anyway, yeah. So my his best 60 foot was a 1.6. I think it was a 1.63, and my car on the nitrous would run a 1.58 60 foot, and my car ran a 650 in the eighth, and his best was a 720. But I'm sure we're going to get the 650. We just gotta, he's not shifting it right. He just got the car. He ain't never run it before, and the car's set up for quarter mile, not eighth mile. So we just got to do a little fine tuning. He's got to get used to the car. He was misshifting it, and he tried to, put the line lock on to spin the tires, and he instead he put the trans brake on. Well, you can't spin the tires if you've got the trans brake on. So, but he's like I say, he's just getting used to the car. So I said, listen, man, we had a great night. You didn't break the car, didn't even hurt the car. We're taking the car home in one piece. You had a good night, man. Ran some pretty good times. I think this was a big good night. I think we don't have to be upset at all. That was a good night. Yeah. The LT1 was a good motor when it came out, especially the iron head version that comes in the Impala, because that car comes with 330 foot-pounds of torque, and the car just leaps. Even as heavy as that fucking car is, man, it'll beat anything from a traffic light. I don't care if it's a Corvette next to you, especially if it's a stick shift Corvette. The Impala will leave on it every time. That thing is a fucking rocket off the line. Of course, it's heavy, so it doesn't take them long to overtake you. But on the launch, it's just an incredibly quick car off the line. Um, yeah, we're talking. Yep, we're gonna get the automobiles in. Well, we're talking about automobiles right now. Um, I don't know if we're going to talk about trains tonight. Well, I did a minute ago. I was talking to Eric about he was making a crossing gate online. He was videoed that. I don't know if you saw that, Chris, but yeah, Eric EQ in here. He was building a crossing gate in the light signal contraption for his giant scale train. And yeah, and I have the same train sitting right there. So we can talk about trains too. What we're going to talk about, though, I know how much you guys like watching Gorilla Glue dry. So so we got this coming up right here. So I've got a mound of Gorilla Glue we got to work on. So we're gonna whittle that. So here's what happened. All right, I'll because this is dry. It's not quite ready to cut yet, but it will be in about another 20 minutes. So this was the first print of my G8. All right, and I know some of you have already seen this, but we'll go over it again. So I printed it without it's all three of them are printed without the wheels. Okay, and then you put the wheels on afterwards. So this one was printed in this position, flat on the bed, just like this, but at a 45, which allowed me to make it bigger than the bed. It's a 300 by 300 by a cube, 300 cube. But by putting it diagonally, I got it to be a little bigger. But I printed it flat this way. And of course, the back of the car looks good. The license plate area and stuff, that looks real nice. Nice and crisp. And then the nose looks real good. Everything's nice and crisp. You can see the headlights, the grill, fog lights, even the Pontiac emblem in between the grills is there. So good detail. That's all good. But the top of the car looked like crap. It looks like a cord of wood. You see all these, ringing in the middle, which I've sanded most of it off now, but you can see it's still there. The ringing in the roof, and it was all over the hood, which I've pretty much sanded that completely off. The hood doesn't have it, but the trunk lid still does. So if you look at the trunk lid here, it still has some ringing in it, that I have to finish sanding out. So I decided I was going to print it again, this time standing up. So that's what I did. So I printed this one, standing on end this way. Okay. And So so that took care of, look at the roof and the hood and the trunk lid are perfect. No ringing, no problems. Everything looks nice and smooth, and the sides of the car nice and smooth. Everything, the front perfect. You can see the Pontiac emblem and well, a little hard to see. This is a little smaller. I'll push it up into the camera there so you can get a good look at it. But it's all the details there, and it came out real good. But the problem now is the back end's not great. Now the back end's kind of hokey looking because it was standing on the build plate and all the support that was attached to the back end has kind of boogered it up. But of course, if you're displaying the car, you're going to just be displaying it forward, either a three-quarter view like this, or straight on, or you never display the back of the car. So it's not a deal breaker, but you know, so I tried something new, and I'll show you that. So what I did was I put it on the build plate like this. I put it raised just like this. Okay, and the reason I did that is I wanted that ringing to be right here on the window and the back of the roof, right in this area, so that it would be it would be football shaped instead of round. So I thought it would be smaller and easier to clean up. And it'll be right here on the roof line where the back window and the roof come together. And that's what this is. Okay, so let me move this. And this one's even bigger yet because at that angle it allowed me to stretch it out even more. So now this is the biggest one, and it came out. It did exactly what I thought it would do. There's the ringing on the roof, back on the window, and the back of the roof, and it's kind of oval shaped. It's not round, and there's practically nothing on the hood. There's no ringing on the hood at all. The hood came out pretty clean. And the windshield's nice and smooth. Everything, the side windows, and then the trunk lid it shows ringing. Well, it's there actually. I was going to say you can't really feel it, but yeah, you can. But you can see the ringing it's still on the trunk lid. But doing that now the back end's clean. Okay, so I still have that nice clean back end again now. Everything's good and sharp and clean and smooth, and so there's really nothing to do. And the Pontiac emblem's on the trunk lid too, right there in the middle, above the license plate area. Has and then down at the bottom, it's got a place for the exhaust, and then the under scoop thing. I can't think of the name of it right this second. And then, of course, the front end's perfect too because it wasn't, on the build plate or anything. So it's nice and crisp, and all that's nice and clean. And now this is transparent filament. So all those lines you're seeing you can't feel them. You're looking through it to see the cubic infill pattern. Okay, that's what you're seeing. The like on the bottom of the car, you could probably see it here. You can kind of see the diamond shapes in there, and maybe it shows up better on the top now. Oh, maybe the side of the car. Maybe the side shows it up better. Let's try that. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Well, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I got to change the camera angle so I can show you live what I'm looking at. Yeah, see right here, you can see through the side of the door and see all that inner lines, the cubic infill. You can't feel it, but because this stuff's transparent, you can see through the car, so you can see it in there. Okay, and what that looks like, I'll show you. I've got a sample of that here. Hang on a minute. Let me find my sample of that pattern. My Millennium Falcon half that failed. Where does that go? It should be right here somewhere. Is it on? Oh yeah, here it is, right here. Okay. So this is what you're seeing. That pattern there is what you're seeing through the side of the car. That's called cubic infill, and it's little cells. You know, all those intersections actually make a solid. All sides are enclosed. There's no way. There's no air going through each cell. Each cell closes itself as it goes to the next cell, and so it's a very strong pattern, and it prints very fast. So that's why I like that one the best, because it uses the least amount of filament, it prints quicker, and it does a really good job of being structurally strong. But anyway, so when I was taking it off the bed, well, it wasn't on the bed. See, that's the problem. When I printed it at this angle, I had all this support underneath it, and tearing the support loose, I tore a couple of holes in the bottom of the car. Now I could have lived with that, not a big deal, but it did break through on this corner right here on the skirt. So I had to at least fix that. And I figured, well, while I'm doing this, let's just play with the Gorilla Glue and make a big glob, and then we're just going to take a knife and slice it off and sand it, and it'll fix everything, and the car will be perfect again. And so I just decided to do that tonight. So I glued this at 8:50. All right. So 10 minutes before I went live, I glued this, and it was just, this volcano lava thing grew out of it. I obviously mixed up way too much glue, but that's okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I tore a few holes in the bottom, and now they're filled, and I'll sand them smooth, and it doesn't matter. The only thing I wanted to fix was where it broke through on the side here, where the skirt on the side had a little break right here, and by the back door, and I just needed to put glue there so I could fill that in to fix it, because I'll paint this car. But yeah. So back to the World of Outlaws sprint car race. Okay. uh, Wild Bill, what's up? How you doing? It was 100 there today? Oh my God, really? Yeah, see, we're not getting that kind of heat. I don't think it might have hit 90. I don't think it did. It didn't, I had my canopy up, and it really wasn't that bad in the shade. We had a very slight breeze. It kept getting breezier as the day went on. So by the time I was taking my canopy down, there was a real good breeze. Not to the point of blowing the canopy over or anything, but it was a real nice breeze blowing at 12:30. There wasn't any breeze in the morning, but by 12:30 there was pretty good breeze. Um, so anyway, so there's, if you look, you'll see the layer lines on this. Let me get it where you can see the layer lines. Yeah, you see how they're going across the car diagonally. Yeah, because the car was sitting like this to print, and the lines are going to be straight. So, the layer lines are going diagonal across the car, but in this position they're straight across, but they're diagonal on the car because I printed it in this position. So that looks kind of funny, but like I said, when I get this all smoothed out and painted, you're not going to see any of that anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it was just something to try. I wanted to see if I could manipulate the car to get a smoother print, so I had less work to, clean it up. And I don't know if I wouldn't call it a fail at all. It printed fine, and it's the biggest one now. This is bigger than any of them. So it was able to make it even larger than the rest. I don't know if I'd call it a win yet, though. But it definitely wasn't a fail. I mean, this is definitely going to turn out to be a nice car. I can sand this smooth, and the trick is, though, is this going to be less work, and I think it is. This doesn't feel near as rough as the other one was. This is pretty smooth, even though you can see the ringing. You don't really feel it. I mean, you can, but it's not bad at all. The trunk lid is pretty bad. I'm kind of surprised because at the angle the trunk was at, I didn't think the trunk lid would be. I didn't think it'd have any ringing on it, but the trunk lid's the worst. But I don't think it was any worse than this one. You know, the trunk lid on this one was pretty bad too. You can see it there, and yeah, so I don't think it's any worse than that. So you know, the bad part though is how much waste. All that filament. Yeah, there was more filament as support than there was to print the car. Okay, so the you know the so I literally threw away enough filament and support material to build another car, a second car. So, and here's what I'm talking about. This isn't all of it, but this is a big chunk of it. Okay, so that was all on the bottom of the car. Obviously it's sitting on the like that to get the angle of the car. So this is all you throw all this away. All this print, all this material you throw away. To get the car to so now I have to decide, was it worth wasting this much filament to make it a little easier to clean it up? I don't know yet. I'll let you know when I get done with the whole car. We'll make a decision and whether I think it was worth it or not. I'm kind of leaning toward now. I don't think it was really worth it. Um, you know, but once I get them all finished, all three painted and smoothed and painted, and then I'll look at them and say, which one do I like the best? And I think honestly it's going to be between these two, because I don't think I'm never going to get the back end of this very clean. It would be days, weeks to clean that up to look really good, and I don't think I'm going to put that much time into it. I don't know. We'll see. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight, that's for sure. I'm not going to dedicate that kind of time to it. So who cares? But we'll see. Yeah, it looks like a pine. You're right. It looks like a pinewood derby kind of thing. The way the ringing is in the print. And that's just what happens. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're printing as it gets to the top. If you got a dome of some kind, when it gets to the top, it's just the way the layer lines lay down. It's going to cause that ring. It's even on top of R2D2, but it's very, very um, subtle, and small. You know. Now this is the one that shows it the worst, and it because of the color of the car, it looks like wood. I mean this looks like a damn wood car here. Um, you see all the ringing, even on the hood. Okay, so yeah, this was the worst one. So all of that was just horrible compared to. Um, but the nice thing is, the grill came out perfect. Um, you can see the headlights, the fog lights. All that's in there. So so that looks great. And the back end looks great. The back end's really nice and crisp. The tail lights are there, and the wing is there. So that's the trade-off. Your front and back are great, but you've got all of this that you got to sand smooth to get rid of the pinewood derby look. So, um, versus this one, it's hard to see because it's the orange filament, but this is smooth, clean. Everything's clean. It doesn't need any prep at all. Of course, the back end's fucked up. The lights are kind of goofy and smushy, and because I printed it standing up like this. But the rest of the car is so clean. I mean, literally, I could just display it like this. I don't have to sand it, paint it. Just leave it like that, and it looks really good just the way it is. You don't even have to, work on it. Just leave it the way it is. It really came out looking pretty good. Um, so okay. So anyway, that's just a a little 3D printing, you know, update, and I'm gonna get my new. I'm gonna take a brand new knife, and we're gonna chop all this off. Um, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I carved it out of a block of hickory. Yeah. Yeah, no, actually, this didn't come out any worse. This is going to clean up easy. Yeah, it really is. This isn't going to be a. The back window is pretty smooth, even though you can see the rings in it. It's not. They're not real prevalent. They're not like the trunk lid. The trunk lid's bad, but the back window's very smooth. So that's going to sand in really easy. I mean, I think one coat of primer will fill the window in, and it'll just smooth out perfect. And the same thing with the roof here. There's some boogering going on the hood, like little pock marks, out, like zits sticking out, not in. So they'll sand right off. That's not going to be a big problem. But I'm kind of surprised it did that because I don't know what caused that. Um, but the windshield's clean. I love the windshield on this one. The windshield on this one came out terrible. This windshield had all. I mean, you can look at the paint and see where I've sanded through on the windshield. Um, so let me get it. Yeah, get a switch camera angle here so I can show you. Okay, so you see all the light areas. That's where I'm sanding. That's the plastic without paint. The low areas is I can't sand because they're too low below grade. So the dark areas is the paint untouched because it's down in the low areas. So all those rises on the windshield where it's light colored now were big bumps in the windshield that I had to sand out. And these don't have those bumps. So I don't know what caused that on this only on this print. I don't know why. This one didn't do it. The windshield's beautiful. On this one the windshield's beautiful. There's no it's nice and smooth. It doesn't have those high bumps like the. So I don't know what caused that. Just like I don't know what caused these bumps. See, the bumps in my hood here are what I had on the windshield. Now they're on the hood on this one. And I don't know why, because they're not on this one at all. Not on the hood, not on the windshield, nothing. There's no bumps on this car. It's just smooth, as smooth as a baby's butt. So I don't know why it did that. It's weird, But could be the temperature, of the filament. They're both PLA or PET G. They're both PET G filament, the gray and the blue, but I think they're different brands. That might have something to do with it. That could be possibly part of it too. Um, so, but yeah, the rest of the car really don't have to do much sanding, just some smoothing. There's you can see some like I'm going to call them facets in like the door. So when you're looking at the door here, same thing. The um, the light colors are the high spots. Okay. So that's why there's a light blue line and then another light blue line below that. And because that's the high point of the facets of the door. And it's very minor. So that cleans up easy. Not much. And you can see it on the deck lid or I'm sorry, the quarter panel where the gas door is. Same thing. There's facets back there that are sanding out. And that's why I put the paint on it. So when I'm sanding it, I could see exactly what needs more attention. Um, to get it smooth. So this is about ready for paint. This is pretty smooth. I'm going to work on it just a little more, and then I'm going to prime it, and then we'll do a final smoothing sand, and then I'll paint it the blue color that I want. I think I'm going to paint it. silver first, the chrome that's on the Chrysler 300. Where's that at? It's right here somewhere, right here. So I'm going to paint it this color first. And then I'm going to use that metal cast, that blue, it's like a candy blue cast. It's a clear coat, but it's a blue cast, and I can darken it just by putting the more coats I put on it, the darker it gets, and I can just fine tune it to get the exact color of my car, and it'll be super shiny because of the base coat being this chrome. So that's going to look really cool. Um, so that's how I'm going to paint these to get that effect. Hey, I just found my keys. Been looking everywhere for my damn keys. Here they are. I finally found them. God's been playing with me today all day. He's been just fucking with me. I didn't get the Carbon Z ready to put together tonight, but we could. We're close. I bought a can of yellow paint. I put a decal on it, and it was crooked as shit. It wouldn't release from the backing, and as I was pulling on it to try to get it off, it stretched. So then when I laid it down on the plane, it wouldn't lay down flat. It had this pock mark in it, and it just pissed me off. So I tried to pull it off without pulling the paint off. Well, that didn't work. And I had already bought. It's the same color as my that airplane's the same color as my car. And I bought this touch-up paint. It's not. It's just a yellow, but it's so damn close. It came out almost perfect. So I pulled the paint off where the decal was. So I wanted to spray it with this yellow paint. And the paint's been right in front of my face all day long, and I couldn't find it. I'm looking at it, literally. It was on the kitchen counter. I've cooked several things to eat today, and the paint's sitting right, and I couldn't see it. I couldn't find the paint. It was driving me nuts. Where the hell did I put that can of paint? And then finally, just, about an hour before the show, I found the can of paint. So I was watching my Baba Black Sheep show, and I decided, okay, I'm going to go out and paint it. So I put and it did great. It's not perfect, but it's so close. And I know when I put the decal back over where it was, you're not going to be able to tell. And then when I bury it in clear, I think it's going to come out perfect. And I might be able to do that. I'll have to step away from the camera for a minute, but I can probably go put the decal on and then clear coat the whole body. And the clear dries fast. And then if I do that, by later tonight, maybe 11 o'clock, so I might actually be able to put the plane together. It could happen. It might happen. It just depends how much time I waste talking about this stupid shit. Yeah. So, but anyway, we're close finally. It's just been a kind of a pain. But anyway, uh, I have two K printers. Okay, that goes on as a high build, and it works really good. Okay, Robert, I don't know what you mean by a K printer. Are you talking about Creality K1C, K1 Max, K2 Plus? Is that what the K is? Or are we talking about something else? I'm not following exactly what you're saying. It dries fast and it is easy to sand. Oh, the 2K primer. Gotcha. That's the yeah, I've got some of that. Yeah, that works good. Yeah, I have some of that paint. Yep. Now I got it. Yeah, I keep forgetting what they call that primer. All right, so here's yeah, so this looks like a big mess. I know. All right. And but watch this, okay? Look at how easy this just a regular this my Dollar Tree, you know, hobby knife or box cutter, right? And watch this. It slices through this like it's nothing. And we can just shave it off, just like that. It just shaves off just like that. See? So we just keep shaving it off until I get it down to let me cut these tits off here on the back here. And this stuff sands easier than it cuts. It really does. It's pretty amazing the way this stuff, you know, it fills in so easy, and then it's so easy to cut it to what you want. So we're already almost there. I mean, we're real close to having it all shaved off. I don't want to go too far and gouge up the. Not that it's important. Yeah, honestly, I did this more for fun than anything else. I really did need to fill this, but I just need to fill that area right here where it broke out the skirt, the side skirt, and that's all I need to do. But I decided while I'm mixing the glue, what the hell, I'll just fill in the whole bottom where it broke out, and just for shits and giggles. So I don't think this is dry all the way here inside here. We're gonna let this sit a little bit before I start sanding it because it's kind of acting like it's not 100% dry. The outer part where I've been cutting it's been dry. It's cutting real nice, but this is kind of fighting me a little bit. So I'm thinking this might not be dry all the way. Yeah, it feels a little rubbery. So yeah, I don't think this is dry. Inside, because it was so thick. I just don't think that's dry all the way. So we're gonna let this dry a little longer, and then we'll finish it up. So, but we're already to there. That's how quickly you know, we got most of that off, and so yeah, so we'll finish that in a minute. Let's let that dry a little more, and then we'll finish that up. But I think I'm just going to sand from now. But the big thing was just right here, this piece right there at the bottom of the door, right there. That's where I needed to fill it. It broke out right there, so I needed that right there to sand it smooth so I could remake that side skirt right there. So that's the only reason. The other holes were, I didn't need to fill them. I mean, like this car, um, the whole bottom of the car is gone. you know, who cares? I mean, you can't, when it's sitting on its wheels, you can't see that. It doesn't show up at all. The car looks fine. Um, the but the bottom of this one broke out, and you can see the infill. This is just, I think, grid infill, and like only 2%. That's why it's these big boxes. But it was enough um, that the grill printed perfect, and that was the whole point of putting that infill in there, was to get the grill and the lights to print. Because if you don't put any infill in it, like the gold car, this one, this is hollow. There's no infill in this car, okay? And even though all this looks great, the sides and the roof, and it'd beautiful. But look at the grill, because there was nothing for the filament to land on. The whole thing is a mess because there was nothing inside the car to support the filament. It was just trying to print the grill because it was standing up, vertical like this, and so it couldn't print. So so I realized, okay, you got to put at least a little bit of infill in there so you have something to print the vertical part. So that's what happened there. Um, so let's see. So car show today. We went drag racing Friday night, and that was a lot of fun. And let's see what else. What else did I do this week? Besides print this, and this was because of normally this car only takes like 5 hours to print, but because of all that waste that went up in this angle and all that support, it was a 19-hour print. It was, oh my God, it was horrible. uh, so am I the only one that has 911 on speed dial for Kenny? Why, did you think I was going to cut myself with a knife, Robert? Is that what you're implying here? You thought I was going to cut myself and you would have to call 911? Oh my God, what's the number for 911, for crying out loud? I should write that down. So that's my shirt. Oh, you thought I was cutting into my. Oh, I got you. No, it was. I think because of how deep, the fill. This fill was inside the. I don't think it dried all the way. This is. So I'm actually going to have some pock marks here. I think because this was kind of tearing instead of just cutting, and so this might not be totally smooth, but that's fine. I don't care. As long as I get this. Well, that might not come out all the way either. That looks like that might. We'll find out when I sand it. I might have to add a little. I bought some body filler. The when you bondo something and then you want to fill the little pock marks and stuff, they have that self-drying filler that's in a tube, and I bought a new tube of that. So anything that needs any fixing at this point, I'll use that to finish it up. But I don't know what's going on back here. These two pock marks in the back here. broke holes, and the other one did the same thing, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Um, the same thing happened here. There's two holes in the back of the car, and I don't know why those tore out. I haven't figured that out yet. It's weird. As I'm pulling off the support, for some reason it rips a hole in the bottom of the car right there, and it's not hurting anything. I don't care, but I don't understand why it did it. That's the only thing I'm saying is I don't know what caused that. It just seems weird. I don't know why there's nothing on that part of the car that would, you know, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what it was. I don't know what was there that it tore off or why it tore. I just thought that part of the car would be flat with the rest of it, but apparently it wasn't, or it was supposed to be, but the support was too strong and tore a hole in the bottom of the car. The bottom of the car is very thin. It's kind of the filament is rubbery. It's because it's too thin. Not that that matters, but I think if I print this again, I think I'm going to add layers to the bottom. From now on, when I print a car, I'm going to probably make 3 or 4 layers thick, just to have the bottom of the car a little stronger. Because if I pick this up wrong, I could easily just blow a hole right through it. My finger could go right through the bottom of this pretty easy. So, you know, so anyway, we'll see. All right. So what else was going on? Um, oh, um, so wait, hang on a minute. What did you paint, Eric? Oh, wait. What did I miss here? Uh, No, well, Robert, you're kind of right on the adding more layers. Basically, what I should do, the way you would add more layers is you would make the layer height smaller. So the standard is point 0.2. That's the default. Um, with a point 0.4 nozzle, um, you really can't go below 0.08. Most people like to go at 0.12. Instead of the point 0.2, but 0.08. So yeah, if I made the layer lines that much thinner, um, there would be more of them. The ringing would be way worse looking, but it would be almost perfectly smooth. It would take a couple swipes with the sandpaper to finish it. It would clean right off, but there'd be more of the lines, but they would be much, much finer. And so they would sand off really quick. So, and I thought of doing it on this one, but when I set it up that way, because I tried it, and it was going to take like 3 days to print. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait 3 days for it. So I decided not to do that, but because I didn't think it was going to be that big a problem, and I still don't. I think this is going to clean up good. I don't think it's going to take very long to sand it out and clean it up. The side windows are great. The doors are smooth. The quarters are smooth. The fenders are smooth. Overall, it looks really good. Um, I think the grills on the hood are smoother. No, they're actually smoother on this one. Well, the one that's got paint on it, so that would make sense. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, having fun with the printer. The 3D printing stuff's fun. And here's the other one. I ordered a second one of these. Um, this one they did right. They didn't put a sticker over it because collectors, they want it new in the package, undamaged. And this one's sellable. I mean, if I wanted to sell this and make money on it to a collector, this one I can sell. I ordered a second one because I wanted to open it. I wanted to be able to play with the car. I want to go vroom vroom and push it around and. um, the one I got yesterday, they put the damn shipping sticker right over the face here, which destroys the value of this. Um, and I'm going to send Amazon a little note about that. Um, I don't know that that would do any good. I might just actually reject it and make them send me another one just so they learn that this is a collectible piece that's worth a lot of money and you ruin it by putting a sticker on it. So don't put stickers on this. That you're destroying the value of it. There was a table set up today that had thousands of these Matchbox and Hot Wheels. Thousands, and the whole tables were just full of these, and they wanted anywhere from $5 to $35 per per car. I paid $4.99 for this. It was $5, so $5 is okay, but I'm not paying 35. And it just depends on how popular the car is and you know the pricing. But yeah, it's so this one, like I said, this one's perfect. It's in perfect condition. So this is worth money leaving it in the package, and that's exactly why I didn't open this one. Um, and then I ordered another one, and it happened to be another ignition orange. I was hoping the guy there would have a blue one, so I could have that one on display with these, because these are all going to be on my car when I go to a car show. At some point, one under the hood on the motor, one on the roof, and probably one in the trunk. Just showing off. And I might make them different colors too, just to make them stand out more. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. We got to get them smooth and primered and everything before we can start putting a final coat of paint on it. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to paint the wheels with that chrome paint that you saw on the 300. So these wheels will be chrome, and then I already showed you the cups I printed. I'll show them to you again if I can find them. I think they're right here. Yeah. So I printed this cup. Okay, and it's the perfect size to um, cover the wheel. After I paint it silver, I'll cover the wheel with this, and then I can spray the black around to paint the tire. And this will keep the wheel from getting painted, so that this will block off the chrome, and so I can paint the black. So that's why I printed these, and had to get the right size, and so yeah, that's going to work out good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can easily, I didn't see you come in. Yeah, you can pay $50. Yeah, they're great. I was gonna buy one. Do you guys watch? I don't know how much YouTube you guys watch. I don't watch TV anymore, hardly ever. I watched Baba Black Sheep today. On Saturdays from 6 to 8. Um, and then on Tuesdays, before I go to the car show. Jag is on. I like that show, so I watch that. But that's about my extent of watching, network TV. I'd rather watch YouTube. There's way more to watch on YouTube than there is on network TV. Now, if I'm in the house I still get old episodes of Home Improvement and Last Man Standing. I'll watch those on Laugh TV. That comes over, the antenna. So I'll watch that. But other than that, I watch YouTube more than I watch any television because it's just way more entertaining. Or the Pluto TV. I don't know if you guys have used Pluto TV, but there's 1,000 different channels on there, and they have a bunch of. They got an Elvis Presley dedicated channel. The um, the Beverly Hillbillies has their own channel. Um, Deal or No Deal with Howie Mandel, that's got its own channel, and it's just there just runs 24/7. They just keep playing this the whole you know from start to finish, all the episodes, and then they just start over again, and they just run all day. One channel. That's all it does all day is just play the same that one whatever it's dedicated to. I think there's a Hawaii Five O channel. Um, there's a lot of the old TV shows have their own dedicated channel, and you can just watch. So it's pretty cool. That it's free. Pluto TV's free. Yeah, $125 for a General Lee. Yeah, and that was a good deal. Yeah, I've seen them way higher than that. Um, so yeah, they're go out and try to buy a DeLorean model. A Back to the Future DeLorean model. Yeah, that went sky high. The Ghostbuster ambulance. That one's actually not too bad. It's I think it's in the $40 range. I think that one's pretty reasonable. But yeah, some of the movie cars, get pretty expensive. Um, um, got my little RC helicopter here, guys. This is um, it's close to my favorite one's the same kind of helicopter but bigger because it's got lights and stabilization. It's got a LiMAR camera out the bottom, um, and it flies really good. This one flies good too, but it's not as stable as the other one. But I just like the style of this helicopter, so I bought another one smaller, and then I've got the Cletus McFarlane Consuela. I bought that one, and that one it's about this size, a little smaller than this one. It's a four blade, and then I've got several five blade ones, and yeah, these ERA. These are really good flying helicopters. They really are. I like them. They're pretty easy to fly, fun to fly. Yeah, the real ones. Yeah, it's hard to find a charger to restore because they went through a shitload of them doing the show. I think they had 50 some cars. I think they totaled. Um, to because of jumping them over everything. At one point they actually ran out of cars. They had to stop production while they put one back together. To do more jump videos. The guys that were fixing them, to keep the movie, they couldn't fix them fast enough. They were wrecking them faster than they could fix them. you know. So, but the hero car, the one that never gets touched, um, that thing's worth a fortune. I forget who's got it. Some collector has that car, and it was I think $1 million they paid for that car. So Yeah, Doc, I hate the commercials too. Um, and you can go commercial free on TV, but you usually have to pay a fee for that. And I don't mind a little bit of commercial, especially on YouTube, because you can skip them. At some point they're going to give you a next button and then a skip button. So if you're not running a ad blocker, which I am on my laptop that I'm running my show on. Um, I'm watching my show and all the YouTube I watch on a television. This is a 53-inch flat screen that I have an HDMI cable running from the laptop to the TV, and so I can run and I run this is my remote control for my laptop. Okay, so when I go on, Pluto TV, for instance, I can change channels using this, and just tell, go to Pluto TV and change channels to watch what I want to watch. And I've got this same setup in the living room in the house. I've got a 70-inch TV in the house. Same thing, a laptop underneath, HDMI cable plugged in, another one of these keyboards, and it's got the mouse pad built in right here, and then the keypad, and so you can do mouse things and keypad things, and that becomes my remote control, and you can even adjust the volume, um, as long as you have the TV volume up pretty high. You can adjust the volume up and down until till you can go back up, but you don't have to have. You really only need the remote to the TV remote to switch the source to the laptop. It's raining. Why the hell is it? It's raining all over my nice clean car. I just got back from the car show. Damn. Why the hell is it raining? Oh well. Wish I knew that. I would have pulled the car in the garage. It's not raining hard. It's very, very light rain. I don't know if it's going to rain. Let me go look and see if it's going to rain hard. I might go, because I'll tell you what I don't like. I got a lot of sand here, and when it rains really hard, it splashes the sand up onto my wheels and just makes the wheels filthy dirty, and I hate that. The light rain doesn't do that, so I don't worry about the light rain. But the heavy rain just screws the car up and really makes a mess. Okay, so there's a tiny little shower building right here, of course, right over me. They always build right over me. I don't know why it does that, but it always does that. Yeah, it's breaking up though. Yeah, so there's another little cell coming through, right, about another 2 minutes, but it's dissipating, it's breaking up. So I don't know that I'm even going to get any rain out of that. It's a really tiny little thing, and it just keeps, as it gets closer to me, it keeps shrinking. So I'm gonna not see any rain from that. And then behind it, I really don't. Everything's dissipating. There's nothing growing. It's all fading away. So I don't think I'm gonna get any more rain. I think we'll be all right. Oh, yeah, I gotta go here. Yeah, and remember the Rockford Files, that Pontiac? Same thing. They had several of those cars, and and what was his real name? Jim Gardner. He took the hero car when he left the show. He told him he wanted the car. So he took the car. Um, the hero car, and then there were, I think two. I think they only had three cars on that show. They had one for interior shots, one for exterior shots, and then the hero car. and he took the hero car. Uh, yeah, Matt, I agree. I think these things. I'll get you. Let me show you the one. If you haven't bought this one, buy this one. Let me go get it. So here's the Cletus McFarlane uh, Consuela. You know, and it's the basically these are the same helicopter, the four blade. You know, same thing. And this one flies real good. It's a really good flyer. But this is the best one. Let me put this one down. This has got the Limar camera on it, you know, facing down. And this thing flies amazing. It almost holds position like it's got a GPS in it, you know, to keep the position. It's amazing how good this one flies. So, man, if you haven't got this one, get this one. You'll really love this one. It's got lights all over it. There's a red and green light on these wings here, on the tip of each wing, and I think there's a light back here on the back, and then there's the searchlight or landing light in the front. And yeah, I love this one. This one flies so good. Um, and like I say, these are the style of these two are the same. They both have that, you know, the shrouded tail rotor in the back, and yeah, so they're both the same helicopter. This one's just a smaller version, and but yeah, I love this one. This is my favorite. This thing flies so good. It's just amazing how good this one flies. So yeah. So Matt, yeah, if you haven't got this one, get this one. You'll love it. You'll really love this one. It's amazing how good this one flies. They all fly good. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. They all fly really good, especially for what they are. But this one's amazing. You know, this one, it's got a bigger battery, so it has much better flight time. Um, these have amazing flight times. I'm afraid to fly an entire flight because the motor inside gets pretty damn hot. So I only fly it for about 7 minutes, and then I land. And then I can fly it another 7. I mean, it'll fly easy 14 minutes, no problem. And I'm just afraid I'm going to burn the motor up. It gets so damn hot, so I don't wait till it runs out of juice. I land in about 7 minutes and let it cool off, and then I'll fly it again on the same battery without recharging it. Um, and then I'll charge it. So um, okay, I don't know why. I mean, it'll sit there, but it was kept trying to flip over. Yeah, yeah. I've got this one. This one broke. I could fix it, and I will. But I bought another one of these. This is the Coast Guard Huey. Um, okay, all right. They all fell on the floor. Yeah, this one it did something stupid one day. I was flying it, and I lost control of the throttle. I couldn't. I could fly it around, but I couldn't bring it down. It just kept going up, and I kept it over top of my head, but I couldn't bring it down. So I finally just, I tried the auto land, nothing. It just wouldn't respond to anything. So I finally did the emergency kill and just shut it down. And then it fell out of the sky like like a brick. So it did a little damage. It's repairable, no big deal. But I just, and I haven't decided to fix it yet. I probably will, but I just bought another one. I really like this one because of the color of it. It's easy to see it. So I just like my favorite one. Um, that's what I love about this one too. The red and yellow is very easy to see, and then it's got lights all over it too. So between the lights and the color, this one flies the best. It's the easiest to see in the air. It's got these great lights on it. So yeah, I really love this one. This is my favorite. And these little choppers. That's definitely my favorite there. I like that one. Good night, pilots. All right, Eric. Have a good night, buddy. We'll see you later. Uh, Eric, if you're still here, I'm both. I'm close to the ocean and there's lakes here. So, yeah, I can do some water flying. We have a lake. Well, yeah, I'd say it's a pond. We have a pond at the flying field. We have two ponds, but the one keeps drying up. But the other one is available. But on the way to the flying field, I passed, several man-made water retention ponds that are always full of water. They're designed to be full of water. And there's one particular one I want to fly off of. It looks like it'd be easy to fly off of it. There's nothing around it yet. I better do it soon because I guarantee it they're going to put a building up next to it before too long, and then I won't be able to fly off of it. But yeah, I want to take my when I get the PBY finished, I'm going to take the PBY and my that J3 Cub, that J3 Cub I put on floats. I haven't flown that one yet, so I could take that one out and fly it. And what else do I have on floats right now? I've got several planes I can put the floats on. I haven't done that yet. So like my Carbon Z, yeah, the Carbon Z Cessna 150. I bought the float kit for that, and I've never put the floats on it. So, and that's a big airplane, so that'll be fun to fly on floats. And I've got a Timber on floats. I've got a Twin Otter on floats. I have the little E-Flight Otter on floats, and I also have the big one from X-Fly, and that one's on floats. So I could fly both of those on floats off the water. I've got the Albatross. I can fly off the water. I got a lot of water planes, and if I decide to do what I'm going to do here on my own property, I'll probably, if I put the main runway in so I can fly a full scale airplane in and out of here, something, a Cub or something. I might right next to it dig a trench, 100 feet wide, 400 feet long, and put a water trap in there, just like Rich is doing on his property. And then I could fly float planes right off of my property here. So that might become a reality too. It just depends. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I don't know. Got bigger fish to fry than that right now. I want to get this done. I got to get the electric moved over here, and then I want to. There's a bunch of airplanes in here. I'm going to take them all upstairs to get them out of here. And then I'm going to run all my electricity behind these walls while I can still get to them to get out in the shop over here and go out that way to the front door so I can turn the lights on and off from the switch at the door. And then probably just run some risers straight up upstairs so I can pick off of them from up there to. But once I get all these, all the outlets in here set and all the runs that go outside, the rest of the garage, I have to do, while I can still get to the, behind the walls. And then when all that's done, I'm going to put all my insulation in and then drywall the whole room and finish the room. And I'll paint it. And then I'm going to bring all my airplane racks in here. I got to build some more too, and start putting all my airplanes in the room. It's going to be a big build table here, probably 8 by 16. Big giant build table. I'll have airplanes on the build table. Probably do my show from on the build table. Probably have a bar stool that I'll be sitting on, and the table will be higher. And my toolboxes are going to be under the table. And so it's gonna. I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that done now. That's the main focus. Although I keep working on cars, got to stop doing that. I really want to get the power in here, so I can stop running off the extension cords, and then start getting all the wiring done, so I can at least get this room finished. Because then I can get all the stuff all these airplanes I'm going to take upstairs and I can get all that stuff down and into here so I can finish the upstairs, because once I get all the airplanes and everything that's up there in the way down here, then I can finish that up there and get that all, get my nice wood floor in and, put my TV and, once I get all the walls done and everything. So that's the order of progress I'm going to do. I was going to do that first, but I can't because there's too much stuff up there in the way, and I don't have room to put it down here, to work up there. But I do have room to move this stuff up there for now. And then once this is done and I reorganize how it is in here, I'll have room to bring all that stuff down. Well, it won't all come down here, but there'll be some swapping going on eventually, but piece by piece. So once all the drywall's upstairs, and I've done all the sanding and the dust and, get that all cleaned up and then paint it, then I can start. Of course, I have to run an electric first. Then I can start, like this couch here is going upstairs. There's a big couch right here, a nice leather couch right here. That's going upstairs. All these cabinets behind me are going upstairs. And then all the airplanes and all that stuff that's upstairs is coming down here. And so it's going to be a swap. But that's kind of how we're going to do this, to get it finished. I've just been so busy with cars, and I've got 2 more cars outside I got to work on for other people, not even my own. And I've got 2 of my own I want to work on. I did clean my other Daytona up the other day. I brought it over here and I gave it a good wash and a clean and blown off all the leaves and got it really shined up nice. And I parked it where Deb used to park, so it's parked over there now to make it look like there's always somebody here. So it's sitting over there, and then the one I drive is in. I'm keeping the Pontiac and my Daytona in the garage, all the time now, and I have another slot that I could bring another car in if I wanted to. I haven't decided what I want to bring in yet. Might bring the truck in, because I could put the truck in here. So it's just nice, and that's there's already the one Impala sitting here already. The Pontiac's up on the lift. The Daytona goes under the lift, and then there's another spot there for another car, the truck or whatever. And I almost have the area underneath to put one of the cars under the upstairs. I'm reorganizing that whole area so I can get one car under there for right now. So yeah, I'm going to have five cars in here. Even though it's a wreck, organized wise, I'll still be able to get 5 cars in here. And then once I get all those airplanes that are over here in here, and that's empty, I can put 2 cars past, because you can drive around my lift. The way I've got it situated in the garage here, there's enough room to drive a car in, which is the way I always planned it. to drive a car in and drive around the lift so I can get 2 cars back here, in this spot here and that spot there. And then the lift is there, and I could park a car here, where there's one sitting right now. So there's 2 there, another one there, that's 3. There's one under lift on the lift, that's 4, 5. 3 underneath here, so that's 6, 7, 8. And then one more. There's going to be 2 over there where the tire machines are. They're going to get moved over here, so there'll be 2 more over there. So that's 10, and then 1 more in the slot right there where the door is open. So that's 11 vehicles in here, and I figured 12, but this room took up. Well, actually, I could have got 2 cars in here, but the hobby room had to be. I wanted it on the ground level. I didn't want to go up and down steps with an airplane, so that's why this is on the ground level with a 6-foot wide French doors, so I can open the doors and just carry an airplane straight out through the doors, the French doors, into a wide open garage. So I'm not going to be banging it into anything or tripping down the steps or any of that. That was the whole plan. So, and it's all working out good. Everything, I haven't run into a snag yet. Everything's working out just the way I wanted it to. So, pretty happy about that. I wish I could move a little faster than I'm moving, but between my health, and what I mean by my health is my back, between my back, and just right now, funds, I've still got money to live on, but I'm trying to, until my Social Security comes through, I'm trying to just back off a little bit. I don't want to burn through all my money and then be wondering what the heck. So I'm just kind of. It should be coming pretty soon. It's been almost a year since I applied for my disability, and I already did the phone interview about a month or so ago. I did a phone interview with the agent at Social Security. So. I should be hearing something pretty soon, I think. I hope so. Oh, well, that's only the ones I could put in the building, Phil. I've got 20 cars. I can only get 11 of them in the building. Out of the rest that aren't going to make it into the building, I don't think. Some of them are parts cars, so they don't have to come in the building. There's at least, I think, 3 parts cars out there. So out of the 20, 3 of them aren't, they're not coming in. There's a couple of them that are going to be flipped. I think 3 cars I'm going to, 3 cars I'm going to flip. I have a CTS that I bought for the girl at the church. I'm going to fix that and flip it. It doesn't need much. That one's actually really in good shape. The radio doesn't work. I think the amp in the trunk is what's bad. So I haven't looked at that yet, though. But that one's, and there's a rubber insulator that I found online. Finally, I found it, so I got to order it. In the rear end is clunking a little bit if you get on and off the gas because this little rubber insulator has failed. But I found it and I can replace it. So I'm going to order that and replace that and get the amp working. And then I'm just going to do a little touch-up work on the car. And I haven't decided. I don't know if I'm going to. It's a black car with black wheels with black tires. I mean, it's black on black on black on black on black. I mean, it's like boring, So I haven't decided if I'm going to go have these wheels powder coated, silver, or or chrome looking silver. Or if I'm going to just buy some takeoff wheels off of, either another CTS or an ATS or something that already has chrome or polished aluminum wheels, and just buy some takeoffs. Because I honestly think I can buy takeoffs cheaper than I can have these wheels powder coated. So, so I think I'm just going to buy a set of takeoffs and then I'll sell the car with the option. You can have it with black wheels or the chrome wheels, whichever way you want it. And I have to do a little bit of touch-up work on the paint. Um, and then I haven't decided if I'm going to polish out the headlights or replace them. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to try to polish them first. And if that works, I'll just polish them. It's a lot of work, but it's cheap. And if that doesn't work, then I'm probably going to replace the headlights. And it's a good car, though. It drives good. The air's cold. It's a solid car. And I didn't pay crap for it. So I think I'm going to do all right on that one. The white wagon, I got to fix that, and we're going to get rid of that one. The black Charger I bought, the RT with the Hemi in it. It's got the dreaded lifter tick, so I'm going to fix that motor, and then I'll flip that car. I don't know. I might just sell it as is. For what I only paid $1,200 for it. I think I can sell it for $1,200. So I might just do that. I might just flip it as is, $1,200. Runs and drives, cold air, has the infamous lifter tick. And just see if I can get rid of it that way, or maybe I'll fix it. I don't know. And then I have to rebuild the motor in the Magnum I bought. That motor's completely tore apart. It's in the back of the wagon. So I have to put that all back together. But I'm keeping. I want the Magnum. That's not going anywhere. I'm keeping that. So what else have I got? The last wagon I bought. Oh, that's true. Robert, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I think I bought Roger's wagon after the Pontiac. I think. A friend of mine had the same wagon we were racing Friday night. It's a Caprice wagon, and it's got a lot of unique stuff on it, and that's why I bought the car. It has the full disc brake rear axle in it, the conversion in the back of the car for a wagon, so that's cool. I can put that in my other wagon if I decide this car's pretty rusty. I don't know if it's savable. I think I'm just going to turn it into a parts car. It's got a beautiful cowl hood on it. So that's $1,000 hood right there, and that's really what I bought it for, was the hood. It's supposed to have a good motor in it, but I haven't started it yet. I haven't played. It's got four flat tires, and I haven't gone out and played the merry-go-round with wheels and tires to get it so where I could move it over here and start it, see if it'll run. It's got a fuel, because he was racing this car too. It's got a fuel cell in the front. The battery's in the back. So I don't know. I'm hoping the motor's good. I think Roger's a pretty good friend of mine. I don't think he would, purposely screw me or anything. So I think the motor's probably good. Okay, so Philip, I knew this was going to happen, and because that I stopped watching Cletus. I'll be honest with you. I knew he was going to get one of his guys hurt or killed, and he was just doing stupid shit now that I didn't want to watch. So I unsubscribed. I haven't watched Cletus in 6 months. So, but yeah, tell me what happened. I'm curious. Um, what challenge did he do, and who got hurt? My guess is George is the one that's going to get hurt or dead. He's going to kill George. I'm, because he's just not thinking. And then I know because this guy has such a big heart, I think it'll ruin him. Honest to God, if he kills George, I don't think he'll ever recover from it. I think he'll probably kill his channel, sell the racetrack, and go into, hibernation. I don't think he'll be able to live with himself. You know, he's just not thinking, and you know, I just know because every time one of those things goes wrong, I can see how upset he is. You know, because he's worried he's either hurt or killed somebody, and you know, and then it's all fun and games after he's okay, but you know, it's not making him any smarter to stop doing this stuff. So yeah, so yeah, yeah, I'll have to go watch that and see what the hell he did. You know, just yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, it's not personal. I really like him. He's got a heart of gold. He would give you the shirt off his back and buy you 10 more. You know, he's just you know, he's not a greedy, you know, selfish guy at all. He'll help anybody. He's just a really good guy. He's got a good heart. He just the brain hasn't caught up yet. He's just doing things he shouldn't be doing. And oh, no kidding. Would it fall off the jack stands or what was the boat up on blocks or something? Yeah, but he posted what you saw, right? I mean, whatever, or did you hear it through the grapevine? Did he post the accident that hurt the two guys, or did you hear it through another source? Oh, his last video, he just talked about it. Okay. Um, yeah, I hope everybody's okay. Yeah, see, now it's not rubbery. It was just need to finish drying. It's cutting through nice now. Yeah, it just it wasn't quite dry. Kind of a weird product because it's a chemical and air dry product. The chemical part is you add water. That's what makes it foam the way up like the way it does. Is that when you put water to it, that's what makes it bubble all up and everything. So that's the chemical part of it. And then I guess it needs air to dry, because that's part of the humidity in the air. It, you know, it helps it both dry and expand. I'm really curious what if he starts this NASCAR thing full time. What do you think's going to happen to his show? Do you think he'll keep it going and maybe let Jack Stan or Kyle or one of the other guys run it, or you know, or do you think he'll keep trying to? Because I think his NASCAR obligations are going to get pretty intense, and he's just not going to have the time to do all of his shenanigans that he's currently doing. So I don't know what he's going to do. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to deal with that, because yeah, man, that's probably, you might be right there. He definitely says he likes the ARCA better. He really likes the ARCA race. He feels like he's, that he's competitive and not getting in people's way, and he's really comfortable in the ARCA. The cup stuff, he needs a lot more peak time for that. He said. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this goes for him. I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to keep his channel going and his own racetrack going. You know, how far is he going to go into this NASCAR thing? Um, because his dream is to race the Daytona 500. So he's going to have to get out of ARCA and get into Cup to get his dream. Because the dream is the 500. That's what all this is stemmed from. Is his dream is to race in the Daytona 500. So so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Wish I could find some 100 grit sandpaper. I don't have any here. I do have some here. I can't find it. This is 220 and really needs to be more aggressive than this. No kidding. How did Lotus die? What the hell? Holy mackerel! I didn't know that. When the hell did that happen? What happened? Damn. Well, I kind of misspoke, Matt. His dream isn't to race in the 500. His dream is to win the 500. So yeah, even though he might get to running it pretty quick. And it could happen right away. I mean, he's not the only guy that's won it. like their first time out kind of thing. But you know, yeah, that he wants to win the Daytona 500, so we'll have to see how that goes. No, no details yet, huh? Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that happened. Yeah, I like 1320. I watch a lot of their stuff. I even have a couple of their t-shirts. I bought a couple of shirts when they were raffling off that Cadillac CTSV wagon. I bought a wagon shirt. Well, I think no, I think only one of them says no. Maybe they are both wagon shirts. Come to think of it, yeah, they were that white CTSV wagon they were giving away. I bought a couple of shirts for that. It's not hard to win a 500. Really? Oh, okay. My bad. Didn't really work out as good as I thought it would. Um, no big deal. I mean, it's just going to take another coat of glue, but um, or maybe I might be able to finish it with the putty. Ouch! Seems like it's still rocking a little bit. So there's some not quite sanded all the way down. Getting pretty close. I think that's all I'm gonna do tonight. Well, pretty close. That's what it looks like. It's almost all smooth. Of course, there's that rough area there. It needs a little fill. That's always what happens. It's always aerated like that, so there's all the little pothole marks. So I always have to fill that with either putty or Bondo or the wall spackle. Sometimes I use the wall spackle. So yeah, there's always going to be a little finish work, but that did 99% of it because it filled. Basically, what I had was voids like this, um, where the bottom broke off. So I had to fill all of those cavities, so that I had a smooth bottom. And that's what all the Gorilla Glue was for. And it did all that. So the car, the car looks, it's going to be fine when I put another layer of whatever I put here to finish this off. Um, Whether it be, I might actually, just like because of this car, I might actually mix up a thin layer of Bondo and just spread regular automotive Bondo on the bottom of the car just to give it a more durable, final coat on the bottom of the car right here. So yeah, I might do that. We'll see. But overall, it's fine. It looks pretty good. The most important part of the fill on the bottom of the car is the one part that didn't work out where the shit. But like I said, the Bondo will fix that. If I mix up a coat of Bondo, that'll fix that perfect. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing to fix that, just to make sure it's good and sturdy. But yeah, it's working out. Not bad. I think this car is, just I think it's going to clean up pretty nice. If it had come out better, I was going to just leave it clear like this so you could see through it. If it hadn't screwed up the bottom, trying to take the support off. That's always a threat when you're dealing with anything with support. Trying to get it off without damaging the print itself. I had the same problem with the dinosaur. Remember when I printed those dinosaurs? Um, One of the kept tearing a hole in his leg because that one damn support wouldn't let go. It just would not let go. And I think all three of the ones I printed that I think it broken. I tore a hole in the leg in the same place. Just wouldn't release right there. All right. That's because all I can do tonight is I'm gonna have to mix up some Bondo for this. Yeah, good enough for tonight. All right. What time is it? What did I do with my phone? Here. It is 11:30 almost. How you doing, man? I say print a plane. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I've decided I'm gonna order that file and I'm gonna do it. And I think I'm just gonna print it gold because I'm never gonna fly it. I think I'm just gonna print it. It'll be a 90 size F-86, and I think I'm just gonna print it gold and then put the U.S. markings on it, and it's just gonna hang. I'm gonna hang it up in as a display plane. But I just want to do it to print it. So I think I have four brand new rolls of gold filament here. I think in a 4-pack. Um, I know I have 4 rolls of black in a 4-pack that I ordered. But I'm pretty sure I ordered a gold pack too. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it up with a camera on it so that you can watch it print. I'm going to, and I'll probably just let the camera run. You know, I'll do a talk over during the show, um, and maybe switch the camera back and forth a little bit. But then when I say goodnight, I'm just going to leave the camera on the print and let it run all night, and you guys can check on it from time to time if you want, um, and see how the print's going. Now it's going to take several plates. I mean, I think I want to say there's like 22 plates that you have to print. Um, I think the wings alone are 4 plates. And that's putting many sections that you can get on the bed at one time, and then when you take them off the bed, you start gluing them to each other. They slide into each other, and you glue them together, and so it's a lot of little sections, um, and then you have to glue them all together. Hey, Beaven, what's up? How you doing, man? Hey, did you go watch my F7F flight after we talked last week? Because I did. That was a 12-minute flight, dude. Unedited. That was take from takeoff to landing. It was 12 minutes unedited. I forgot it flew that long. I thought I knew I was getting 9 minutes, but I didn't remember that I got 12. That was amazing. Does it come out with any new airplanes this week? I mean, it's actually what meant to do that Thursday and go look. Um, I was doing something Thursday. What the hell was I working on Thursday? Oh, Mike brought his car over here Thursday. That's what was going on. That's right. He brought the race car over here and we were working on it. Um, so you know what? Too, I can show you this. Hang on a minute. He sent me a picture. I did the video. Um, I don't know if he's uploaded it yet, but he gave me his phone and I videotaped all the runs, and I'm going to save this picture. How do I save it? Okay, I'd like to watch this. All right. So here's a picture of it launching. That front wheel's a foot off the ground. Yeah, yeah, it was hooking, you know. So yeah, that's pretty cool. E-Flight just released the Timber Hibu hybrid. Really? Is that what they released? Really? Yeah, I'm waiting for the turbine turbo hubu uh turbine version. You know, I can't wait for them to release that. Uh, oh, the battery was fine. It wasn't even hot. It was slightly warm. Um, but yeah, and yeah, I tell you on the video what the voltage was. I think it was like 3.5. But as you know, it's going to come back up to 3.7, 3.8. You know, I always fly them to that. And as they cool down, the voltage comes back up. So yeah, it would have rested at probably 3.7. And if it didn't, I would throw it back on the trickle. You know, I put a slight storage charge on it, and it'll, you know, in less than 10 minutes, it'll have storage charged it for, you know. So yeah, that's how I always do it to because if you come down with, you know, 3.9, 4, you know, takes forever for a charger to kill a battery, you know, because it's only, you know, it only has the capacity to put like a 1 amp load on it or something, and it takes forever to kill a battery. But it doesn't take long at all to, you know, bump it up a couple of points. So I always run them past that final, you know, and then let them either come up on their own or bump it up, you know, in a few minutes. Yeah, the battery was fine. You know, it was warm. It wasn't hot, not even close to hot. It was a little warm, but that any plane you fly, you know, the battery comes out of the plane a little bit warm. You know, it's just normal. You know, it didn't hurt the battery or anything. The battery's fine. You know, it was and it wasn't even a good battery. It was one of those smart batteries. I do not like those batteries, but that's what I flew that flight with, was a smart battery, a 5050 amp, or 50C. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was a 50C, 5000. Um, well, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Phoenix models. I think it was Phoenix models used to make, um, a giant, Connie, um, a giant scale, like, probably a 15-20 foot wingspan, pretty big. Um, yeah, probably not 20, maybe 15. Four engine. I there was there were three of guys. If you go watch those German videos of those guys flying, there were three of them at the same event, and two of them had I think gas motors on it, and then one guy was flying it electric. You know, he had batteries, electric motors, and obviously the electric motor one was much quieter. Um, but yeah, what beautiful airplane, Scott! I would love to. You know, I went to their website in there years ago, and even their backdrop still had the Connie. You know, their wallpaper was a picture of the Connie, but they didn't offer it anymore. You know, they don't make it anymore. And I'm like, um, so I don't know if they've gone back into production. Maybe they had stock. I really didn't, you know, I didn't really investigate too much further, but yeah, it's a beautiful airplane. I love the Connie. I think that's one of the most beautiful airplanes anybody's made. Um, did they use a Connie on the Blue Angels? Did they? I didn't know that. I thought they were just using the C-130. I didn't know they used a Connie before that. Wow, that's interesting. Uh, Oh, is that right? They had a DC-8 at one point too. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's. I obviously hadn't been following the Blue Angels that close. The only plane I've ever seen is Fat Albert. I didn't know they ever had anything else other than that. So that's interesting. Yeah, didn't know that. I'm gonna go look there again. Hang on a second. Let me go look at Phoenix models and see if. I want to go to Phoenix models page, not Horizon. Okay, hang on a minute. You got a better idea. Wow, all of a sudden it got really humid out here. Man, I'm starting to drip, soaking wet. It's just like a fog rolled in or something. Man, this is weird. All of a sudden I'm just like soaking wet. See if I can do this. Hold on. Oh, hang on. I gotta do a window capture. Oops. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. All right, let's take this up to the top. Okay.
Ohne Sicherheit über den Atlantik fliegen. Also in einer relativ vernünftigen Zeit von Europa in die USA zu kommen. Sehr groß, also Farbe rechts,
I guess they don't make it anymore. I was really bummed. I thought, that's just beautiful. And that's one of the gas powered ones. Of course, the ducted fan one's got the same, electric motor hum as it takes off. And, but yeah, cool airplane. I even like the TWA scheme on it. I think that's cool. Yeah, I would love to have one of those. Yeah, Matt, get in line. We all want one. Yeah, I'm trying to find on their website, but they don't seem to have a website anymore. I don't know why. Um, it's pretty much redirected me to Tower Hobbies or Horizon. I guess they're the um, licensed importer or whatever. But oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Phoenix models. Something's loaded. Let me look here. Is that a Sea Fury, Roy, or is that a Mustang? Okay. So yeah, they don't have that. I did find Phoenix Models website. They do not have the Connie as their wallpaper. They got no wallpaper now. It's just a white background. And it's not going to let me search their product. What the hell? All right. Let me go here. Go back to here. Let me go here. Huh. The page won't load. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's see what they got. Wow. I don't think they make it anymore. It doesn't look like it. It's Tim Boo for me, huh? Okay. You can cut in line. I'll let you. I'll let you go first. Um, what does that mean? That snowbirds won't fly. Um, Snowbirds won't fly past 2026. What is? I'm not sure what that means. What's going on in real aviation? Uh, Getting back to the battery situation on the F7F, prop planes. It's pretty hard to ruin a battery on a prop plane. I mean, it's not impossible, but most prop planes, even at wide open throttle, won't pull enough amp load on the motor to really damage the battery. I mean, there are some, but in general, it's the jets are the ones that are kill them. They just you know it's so hard on a battery to run a ducted fan jet. Um, so I might definitely go through batteries faster when I fly with fly a jet. They give up the ghost pretty quick. Something wrong with me. So Michael Bird's finally in the house. We're wondering all night where you were sleeping in, huh? All you can say is that your dream came true. What was your dream? Oh my God, what did you dream? What did you dream? We got to hear this. What the hell did you dream? I love it when somebody tells me their dream came true. Yeah. Okay, what was the dream? Oh, you had your Spitfire flight today. Well, wait a minute. What's the holdup on your Spitfire flight anyway? Is there a holdup? Do they not have any gas to, with the war? They don't have any gas to take you for a ride? What's up? Ugh, almost midnight, and these guys are out here in their four wheelers, riding down the power lines behind me here at midnight. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, so you really did get to fly. I thought you said you dreamed it. I thought you said you had a dream. Okay. I gotcha. Well, that's cool. Good for you. Yeah, I think you told us that it was a birthday present from your son. Yeah, back when you first were talking about it. Yeah, Mike's not going to escape. He doesn't like Trump. He originally said he was going to move here if Trump won the election. Now he doesn't like Trump. So now he's not coming. Um, well, one can only hope that Hillary will get elected next time. There. I'm going to call it. I'm tired. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm really getting sleepy here. So, but thanks for coming. Um, I, I said last week that I was definitely going to put the Carbon Z together this week, and that didn't work out. But um, I found my paint, so that's good, and I found my keys. So those were the two major things. So as long as I already got the decals on the other side. I got all the decals but the red arrow on this side, and that's what peeled the paint off. And I just sprayed this yellow paint I bought. I think it's crayon paint, and it's almost a perfect match. It came out perfect. It looks great. So I'm gonna put that decal on tomorrow, and then clear it. And then and that's I'm getting so frustrated with this airplane. So I'm just gonna put it on and clear it, and then the hell with it. The decal on the other side didn't go on straight, and it kind of pissed me off. But it's not that bad, and I'm not going to fix it. I'm leaving it alone. Um, but yeah, I don't want to mess up this decal, so I'm going to wait until I'm certain the paint's dry. So I'll put the decal on tomorrow. So all right, guys, I'm going to call it. Thanks for coming. Have a great night, and we'll see what we can do next week. You did get to watch some glue dry though, so we so there was always that. I know how much you got. Hey, we could balance a prop real quick. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Have a great night. Thanks for coming. I'll see you.